Welcome to the Peerless YouTube channel. I am Caitie North, and today we'll be doing the first class in the hair series. So a little backstory, I have been a hairstylist for many years, and until Jeff and I moved away from California and had our first son, True, I had always worked in a salon. So this one is definitely special to me, and I feel like the years of being a hairstylist might have given me a little bit of insight into painting the different kind of styles of hair. Hair and paint is never ending, and there's a million different ways to do it, and I have done it a million different ways in all of my paintings too. So this is just one technique for each of these. So I'm sure throughout our Peerless journey together, I will probably be doing another tutorial on hair, maybe with like crazy colors or mohawks, I don't know, or men's hair. But for now, we're gonna start with these 4 basic ones, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. For your supplies, you'll be needing Peerless Watercolors, watercolor brush and paper, an extra small detailed brush, pencil, a double-sided tape, scissors, and a light box. And for this first one, for the sake of making it a little bit more visible, I am using a blue. I'm using the cobalt blue. You could definitely use the blue from the original pack or the complete edition, but I feel like it's a little bit helpful, and who doesn't love a blue-black like raven hair anyway? I think it's so pretty. And when you're looking at this reference photo, having the contrast between the blue and the black helps a lot. So to make something like this on your own, and you're looking at your reference photo, if you can see how the curve of the head is where you get this shine line of where the sun is hitting it, and then each individual section has their own little shine lines throughout them. So if you see like how it goes from root to end in all of the different sections of her hair, where those shine lines would be. So I've actually see like 3 on that lower part, and you can kind of go back to my reference photo and see how I've kind of square blocked it out on those 3 sections there. And then right at that round top of the head, you get your shine line, and then you get another one when it's kind of swooping over there onto the right side, and it just kind of shows it where it's like almost hitting through her collarbone and falling down from there. That's where the hair moves and the light has hit it in some way. So most times when you're painting hair, this general rule is a great way to follow, and you just kind of want to start thinking about hair as in sections. So most hair doesn't just go straight from the top to the bottom. It all moves, even if it's straight hair, curly hair, or wavy hair. It has like depth, and some is further away, some is closer. And so if you think about it in sections and which pieces are closer to you and are going to be lighter or shining, those, you know, anytime you can get those to stand out and make them more vibrant, it's gonna look more realistic. So now that we have our palette made and our sketch is being put into our watercolor journal with our light box, we are ready to start the painting. All right, so now we are ready to start painting, and looking at our reference photo and then looking at our blocked out shine line photos. Simple what we're going to be doing is anywhere where the light hits it and it's blocked out, we are going to put the blue, and anywhere that is dark, we are going to put black. You can kind of blend them a little bit together, but they're so close in color, by the time we do the second and third layer, it's not gonna matter. And just make it super simple on yourself. Put all of your blue squares down first, and then put all of your black squares. So once you have your checker block color for that first wash of paint, you're going to let it dry completely 100%. And for the second wash, you're going to be doing smaller individual hairs or smaller sections, and you're going to want to think about where they're going to go from root to end, and in a whole solid piece, but slightly lighter in the blue areas, because you don't want to cover those up completely, because those are your lighter areas. So the blue needs to stay just slightly lighter, and then as you get into the black on the black with the second wash, you can make those a little bit darker and individual hairs there. So it's not going to look like a completely smooth transition with this first wash, and you're probably still going to see kind of like those bleed lines and see like where the blue and the black meet, but with each layer that you do over it, you're going to get more and more depth and more kind of sharpness of those black hairs. One thing to watch out for when you're doing individual hairs is that you let the one next to it dry before you put another one, because if you put two strands next to each other and it becomes one giant strand, you've lost all of that sharpness and definition that you were going for. So why I do it in layers, it helps it kind of keep those lines sharp and individual and not kind of clump into just like, oh, she just has all black hair. Like you would lose all of those, you know, lighter dark pieces and the blues and the blacks and everything. So I hope that makes sense. And one thing that I have found that makes these dark and black sleek hair look even more realistic is those kind of flyaways and those individual strands that kind of hang out on the outside of the hair. Anytime they're in any painting, for some reason, those are like always the little bits and details that I love the most. And I feel like it makes it look even more realistic. So I've added a few. I will add a little bit more towards the end. But now that we are done with that first and second wash, we are going to be now working on the third wash. And same exact thing. You're going to be layering those super tiny, kind of feather-like kind of strokes of the hair, keeping them a lot lighter and kind of more translucent over the blue areas, and then just trying to pack in that last layer again on the dark squares, and then adding those little detail flyaways. So another little tip is using that extra small detail brush for an even darker black line. Sometimes when you're using the water reservoir brushes, they get a little translucent by the time you get to the end of the hair strand. And having that detailed brush with some of that black hair color already mixed and really concentrated, you can make it a little bit darker and even from the top to the bottom. So I hope that helps. All right, and we are done. And I'll put in a picture of my completed raven hair sleek straight style. And I hope that makes it a little bit easier to understand light shadows and yeah, where those beginning sections are in hair. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and share with your friends, and we will see you next time for the blonde tutorial.